If you are the type of writer whose writing goals get shoved into the corner because of your other priorities, then this is the video for you, my friend. Because today I'm going to be teaching you my step-by-step process for setting realistic writing goals and successfully achieving them by the end of the year. Step 1. Create a list of all the goals you have. Look at every aspect of your life. Professional goals, health goals, relationship goals, career goals, financial goals, including your writing goals. Look at all the goals and then arrange them in the order of importance. For example, in my case, I'm graduating this year with a degree in creative writing, and therefore for me, writing my novel, which is my thesis, is going to be one among the top priorities. So writing goals is definitely among the top priorities for me this year. And another thing that I'm dealing with is some health issues. Therefore, my health goals are also going to be among top priority. Also, I love creating content for you guys, and therefore I want to be increasing my content creation this year, and that's why that's also in my top 3. So for me, my top 3 goals would be health goals, writing goals, and then my content creation goals. Disclaimer, if you are not a full-time writer or you are not doing a degree in creative writing like I am, then writing may not be in your top 3 goals, and that's completely okay. Write as many as you want. Maybe it's somewhere in your top 10, maybe it's in the middle or even in the bottom, and that's okay. The purpose of this step is just to become aware of the position of your writing goals when compared to all your other goals. Because once you're aware of the position of your writing goals, you can now estimate how much time you have to allocate to your writing and how much you can realistically achieve this year. Step 2. Choose the right writing goals. If you want to achieve your writing goals this year, then you must choose the right writing goals to pursue. If you pick goals that you aren't passionate about or that aren't realistic enough, then you'll surely fall off track. Most newbie writers make this mistake of thinking that, oh, I have the entire year to write, which means I can write like 50 short stories and publish like 25 of them. Bad idea. Writing is a form of art. So when you're setting your goals, always pick quality over quantity. This quantity will always vary from writer to writer because every writer is at a different stage. But here is my thumb rule when I'm setting this goal for myself. It is always better to underestimate how much you can write than to overestimate and fail to reach your goal. What I like to do personally for myself is to list out all the ambitious writing goals in my head, and then I pick top 3 goals from those. Or I pick one big goal like I've done this year of writing the first draft of my novel. Again, when I say pick one big goal, that doesn't mean you need to overestimate your big goal. Don't say I will write, edit and publish one novel this year. Those are 3 big goals. In fact, those probably are 5 big goals if you think about types of writing and types of editing and all of that. Be realistic while setting your goals. So for me, my big goal this year is to finish writing the first draft of my novel, which lies somewhere between 50 to 70,000 words. And this is just the first draft, not an edited one, just a rough first draft. That's my goal for this year. Disclaimer, I have picked a huge writing goal because I'm graduating this year and writing is one of my top priorities for this year. That doesn't mean that you need to write 50 or 70,000 words. Nope. If you're not a full-time writer, if you're not doing a degree, writing may be in the lower priority list for you, and that's okay. So if you can only do 10,000 words, that's fine. Don't compare your goal to my goal because I'm only using my goals as an example for this video, and we may be in completely different situations. So always keep your situations in mind without doing any comparison with me. At this point of the video, if you are getting any value out of it, please like the video and consider subscribing to my channel because here we talk all about writing compelling novels and creating rich, vivid experiences for your readers. Moving on, step 3, break those goals into milestones. Once you've chosen the top writing goal for the year, it's time to break it into solid, achievable milestones. So for example, in my case, if I want to write the first draft of my novel, I'm going to use the different stages of writing a first draft as my milestones. In my case, I like to begin with the preparation stage in which I do certain things before I even start writing anything. If you're wondering what those things are, check out this video. My second stage is usually a brainstorming stage where I put out all the ideas, and then I have a character stage where I'm going to prepare all my characters, and then I have a rough outline stage. These stages are going to look so different for all the writers out there because every writer has a different writing process. So look at your writing process, look at what stages you have in that specific goal that you've picked, and then use them as milestones. Remember, there is no right way to write a book, there is only a right way for you. If you are new at this, I completely understand that you may not have a writing process yet. And so if you're looking for inspiration to find your process and you want me to make a dedicated video for my writing stages, then comment the phrase below saying, I want that writing process video. Step 4. Plan your milestones and break them into tasks. Okay, so for the sake of clarity, let me define what I mean by milestones and tasks. Milestones are stages that will take a longer period for you to complete. For example, creating character profiles. To understand all your character profiles, you'll probably need a few weeks, to really understand your protagonists, your side characters, how they go together. That is a milestone because it takes a longer period of time for completion. On the other hand, tasks can be completed in a short span of time. So for example, filling up one character profile for your side character. Maybe that will only take 1 or 2 days. So that's going to be a task. So what I want you to do is once you have your milestones, then under each milestone, list out all the tasks that you will need to complete in order to complete the milestone. And then in front of each task, write down the estimated amount of time that you think you will take in order to complete that task. I know it seems daunting at first with all these tasks and milestones and estimations of time, but just follow along and you will see how all of this fits together. Once you've noted down the estimated amount of time for each task, you'll notice that you can see the estimated amount of time for every milestone. And once you add up all the milestones, you'll be able to see what's the estimated amount of time for your entire goal. So basically, we're just reverse engineering from the amount of time you will require from the smallest of tasks to your entire big goal. Looking at that entire reverse engineered time allocation, if you notice that you're not able to give that amount of estimated time this year to your writing goals, then that means you've chosen a very unrealistic writing goal and you just need to go back and do this process again. Choose a new goal or just break that goal into even smaller goals and see if you're able to achieve less of that for this year. Step 5. Mark your deadlines and choose your metrics. Once you've decided on your milestones and your tasks, go into the calendar app or your planner, whichever you prefer, and mark your deadlines on your calendar. For example, if I start my preparation stage, my first milestone on January 15th, then it would take me about 15 days to finish that. So I will mark January 30th as the deadline for that milestone. Keep going, so on and so forth, and mark all your milestones on your calendar and mark those specific deadlines. I highly recommend using these deadlines, your milestones, as deadlines for the entire year so you can track your progress and you can make changes. Also, make sure that you don't really mark your tasks in your calendar because that is something that I like to do on a weekly basis because that way I can keep my process quite flexible for any foreseeable, unforeseeable situations. So don't mark your tasks that you'll just feel extra overwhelmed. Just mark your milestones, things that take a longer duration of time, as we have already defined. Mark all your milestones, use your deadlines, and then stay on track. However, before you choose your deadlines, I want you to choose the right metrics. By metrics, I mean the parameters on which you will track the progress, on which you will measure the progress of your goal. For example, a lot of writers choose word count as their metric. They say that I will write 20,000 words this month or 10,000 words in the next 15 days. However, they pick a certain word count for a certain amount of days. You can do that. Or some people like to use chapters or scenes instead. Most writers who outline beforehand choose a specific plot point in the story as their metric. They say that I'm gonna reach the inciting incident by the end of this month. That's one way to do it. But again, keep in mind that there is no right way to choose a metric. It depends on your intention with that writing goal. Personally, in my case, since I'm writing the first draft, I will be going with plot points from my rough outline. If I was rewriting this piece or editing this piece, then I would go with word count. So it all depends on your intention and which metric you feel most comfortable with. Make sure not to choose something which is extra toxic. I've talked about this on my Instagram before, that sometimes during NaNoWriMo, writers just choose a very toxic metrics, like they think I'm going to write 50,000 words and then it's an overestimated problem. Don't do that. Pick a metric that you think will actually be the measure of your writing goal instead of becoming something that's a big daunting pressure on your head. Step 6. Create systems. This is the most important step of all. If you skip this step, everything else that you've done till now will be useless. It's very easy to choose writing goals and then plan them and then mark these fancy deadlines in your calendar. The real key is actually executing on those goals. If you want to stick to your writing goals and actually get the work done by the end of the year, actually achieving your goals, then you need to build systems and not habits. A habit is something that you do on a consistent basis, but a system is a well-plotted plan that makes you do the habit. For example, if I want to inculcate the habit of writing 4 days a week, then I will have to predefine my situations for those 4 days. I will have to look at my other goals that are higher in priority than this goal, and make sure that all of those tasks in the other goals are getting done on the other remaining days, so that I don't have to do all of that on my 4 days. Now, of course, 4 days is for me. If you have less time, then you can do, writing 1 day or writing weekends, whatever is your goal. In simple words, the habit is the thing that you want to do, and the system is how you intend to do it. You need to have a system in order to sustain a habit. Otherwise, you'll just end up having a lot of plans and goals and deadlines in your calendar, and finally when life happens, you'll fall off track and you wouldn't actually achieve any of your goals. Now, how you can build these habits according to your personal situations can be a video on its own. But still, to help you out, here are my 3 quick tips. Number 1, ensure that all your other higher priority tasks are getting done on days other than the time you allocated for your writing. You don't want those tasks to bleed into your writing time. Number 2, be prepared for unforeseeable and unpredictable circumstances. Like in my case, I have those health issues, so I may have some tough days. I'm going to factor those in and create a backup plan. Number 3, eliminate all causes of procrastination, because procrastination is the reason why most writers fail in this world. If procrastination is something that you struggle with, then don't worry and check out this video right here, because it's entirely dedicated to the causes of procrastination in writers and how you can get rid of procrastination in its entirety. Alright, this is me, Srishti Rathour, signing off for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time and the fact that you guys are loving my content. Thank you so much, and also please subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you next in this video right here. Till then, bye!